Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. I'm John, an old YouTuber and PC gamer. Let's continue. I got a small break and did eat a little bit food. I did record a Danish video. I was eating food. It's 1:30 p.m. and I made a list what I did like to read. My read lists. We are reading about Intel, but now I have a lot of yes, that's the Intel there. We're reading the Intel finish, then Gordon Moore. Oh, that's more easy to do the Gordon Moore. He's one of the founder of the Intel. And this is the famous Moore's law. That's about the number of the transistor inside the CPU is doubling 100% more every like 2 years. And Robert Noyce, forgot to download that. He's one of the founder. He's one of the founder of Intel, but he was one of the founder of this Fairchild Semiconductors and this Frederick Faggins, but he's not American Jew. I don't know why I remember that. That could be maybe Federico Faggins, but he's born in Burlington in America. But that's maybe Gordon Moore is American Jew. No, he's born in San Francisco in California. But that's maybe, yes, let me open this Federico Faggins. That's maybe him. That's the one. So always I mix it totally up. I don't know why Intel have so close ties to Israel then. No, I have that in another folder. I have another folder called Finish Reading. Federico Faggins, sorry. No, he's from Italy. Italian. He's from Italy, I don't know which one. I maybe find out he's from Italy. Italian American. So I don't know where I did read this. So sorry for that. So I don't know why. I don't know why. That's something I mix up wrong. I have to find out where I did read that. No, there was something. He came from Hungary. He was a Hungarian Jew. And when the Nazi Germany did occupy it, he escaped to Austria. Then he did escape to United States and became a physics. And he was part of one of these firms, but I don't know. Then it's a totally wrong name. I don't know what I mix up here. I will think about it. So I don't know why Intel have so close ties to Israel. So yes, I will just continue this. No, I was reading something about an important person with this computer chips. He was from Hungary and escaped as a young male in the 20s. He did escape from Hungary and to Austria, and he ended up in United States as an immigrant. Then he did meet his wife there, and they did marry the whole life. Yes, I don't know where I did read that, so but I will find out one day. But that's maybe something about Microsoft. One of the persons behind Microsoft, one of the founders with Microsoft. I'm not sure. Yes, let's just continue. Yes, I had to read page by page because it's not working.
On the 22nd of July, 2010, Dell agreed to a settlement with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to pay $100 million penalties resulting from charges that Dell did not accurately disclose accounting information to investors. In particular, the SEC charged that from 2002 to 2006, Dell had an agreement with Intel to receive rebates in exchange for not using chips manufactured by AMD. These substantial rebates were not disclosed to investors, but were used to help meet investor expectations regarding the company's financial performance. These exclusivity payments grew from 10% of Dell's operating income in FY 2003 to 38% in FY 2006, and peaked at 76% in the first quarter of FY 2007. 382. Dell eventually did adopt AMD as a secondary supplier in 2006, and Intel subsequently stopped the rebates, causing Dell's financial performance to fall. 383, 384, 385, Corporate Responsibility Record. Intel has been accused by some residents of Rio Rancho, New Mexico of allowing volatile organic compounds, VOCs, to be released in excess of their pollution permit. One resident claimed that a release of 1.4 tons of carbon tetrachloride was measured from one acid scrubber during the fourth quarter of 2003, but an emission factor allowed Intel to report no carbon tetrachloride emissions for all of 2003. 386. Another resident alleges that Intel was responsible for the release of other VOCs from their Rio Rancho site, and that a necropsy of lung tissue from 2 deceased dogs in the area indicated trace amounts of toluene, hexane, ethylbenzene and xylene isomers. 387, all of which are solvents used in industrial settings but also commonly found in gasoline, retail paint thinners and retail solvents. During a subcommittee meeting of the New Mexico Environment Improvement Board, a resident claimed that Intel's own reports documented more than 1,580 pounds, 720 kilograms, of VOCs were released in June and July 2006. 388. Intel's environmental performance is published annually in their Corporate Responsibility Report. 389. Conflict-free production. In 2009, Intel announced that it planned to undertake an effort to remove conflict resources materials sourced from mines whose profits are used to fund armed militant groups, particularly within the Democratic Republic of the Congo, from its supply chain. Intel sought conflict-free sources of the precious metals common to electronics from within the country, using a system of first and third-party audits, as well as input from the Enough Project and other organizations. During a keynote address at Consumer Electronics Show 2014, Intel CEO at the time, Brian Kotnick, announced that the company's microprocessors would henceforth be conflict-free. In 2016, Intel stated that it had expected its entire supply chain to be conflict-free by the end of the year. 390, 391, 392. In its 2012 rankings on the progress of consumer electronics companies relating to conflict minerals, the Enough Project rated Intel the best of 24 companies, calling it a pioneer of progress. 393. In 2014, Chief Executive Brian Kotnich urged the rest of the industry to follow Intel's lead by also shunning conflict minerals. 394 Age discrimination complaints. Intel has faced complaints of age discrimination in firing and layoffs. Intel was sued in 1993 by 9 former employees over allegations that they were laid off because they were over the age of 40. 395. A group called Face Intel, former and current employees of Intel, claims that Intel weeds out older employees. Face Intel claims that more than 90% of people who have been laid off or fired from Intel are over the age of 40. Upside magazine requested data from Intel breaking out its hiring and firing by age, but the company declined to provide any. 396. Intel has denied that age plays any role in Intel's employment practices. 397. Face Intel was founded by Ken Hamidi, who was fired from Intel in 1995 at the age of 47. 396. Hamidi was blocked in a 1999 court decision from using Intel's email system to distribute criticism of the company to employees. 398, which overturned in 2003 in Intel Corporation v. Hamidi. Tax dispute in India. In August 2016, Indian officials of the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, BBMP, parked garbage trucks on Intel's campus and threatened to dump them for evading payment of property taxes between 2007 and 2008, to the tune of $340 million, $4.5 million. Intel had reportedly been paying taxes as a non-air conditioned office, when the campus in fact had central air conditioning. Other factors, such as land acquisition and construction improvements, added to the tax burden. Previously, Intel had appealed the demand in the Karnataka High Court in July, during which court ordered Intel to pay BBMP half the owed amount of $170 million, $2.2 million, plus arrears by August 28 of that year. 399, 400, see also. 5NL. As I read. Advanced Micro Devices. Bumpless Build-Up Layer. Comparison of ATI Graphics Processing Units. Comparison of Intel Processors. Comparison of NVIDIA Graphics Processing Units. Cyrix. Engineering Sample, CPU. Graphics Processing Unit, GPU. Intel Developer Zone, Intel DZ. Intel Driver Update Utility. Intel GMA, Graphics Media Accelerator. Intel HD and Iris Graphics. Intel ROI. Intel Museum. Intel Science Talent Search. List of Intel chipsets. List of Intel CPU microarchitectures. List of Intel manufacturing sites. List of Intel microprocessors. List of Intel graphics processing units. List of semiconductor fabrication plants. Wintel. Intel-related biographical articles on Wikipedia. Andy Grove. Bill Gates. Bob Colwell. Craig Barrett, Chief Executive. Gordon Moore. Justin Ratner. Pat Gelsinger. Paulo Tellinai. Robert Noyce. Sean Maloney. Notes. 1. The Andrew Grove article explains how a clerical error exchanged the employee ID numbers of Grovey and the fourth employee, Leslie L. Verdes, whom Grove had hired. 2. The first name was actually picked up as temporary. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. References. 1. Intel names David Zinsner Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. finance.yahoo.com January 10, 2022.
Yes, let's stop. We're not going to read this, but there was a lot. I think there's more than 300 references, but let's just scroll it down. So, but now I read this, but if in few years, in 5 years, this PDF will be different. So I will drag this into my folder, Finish Reading, then I will add the dates. I will put a date behind it so I know where it is from. Could download it again in a few years. So that's a crazy number of 400 references. Yes, this page was edited a few days ago. Yes, got 3 minutes left. Next is, that was Intel. Next is Gordon Moore. Yes, I don't know, remember which one I was reading about a Hungarian Jew was escaping from Hungary, the Nazi Germany, and escaped to Austria, and he ended up in the United States. Or that was the Russian occupation, I don't know. Then he got to university in the United States, and he got a job somewhere and make some CPUs, some important company. Yes, I don't know where I read that. I will find out one day what it is. I don't know why Intel have so close ties to Israel and have so many fabs, have so many factories there for CPU. The Gordon Moore, he's American, and the Noise, they're both from America. Gordon Moore is born American. And the other one, Robert Noyce, he's from Burlington, Iowa. Yes, he died 1990, age 62, so he was not very old. But Gordon Moore, he's still alive. He's 94. He's still alive, yes. But I will read this next. So let's do this. Let's get some power on the camcorder.